Well, first of all, of course, we had it all planned that there would be power, like we normally do. And there's less people that we expected, and we figured that's because there's no coffee. So anyway, our presentation is actually, our original presentation is a PowerPoint, and inside that PowerPoint is Anne's part. She's still in the United States. So that's why between Joan and I, we will be talking Anne's part, but fortunately, you won't be able to see any of the pictures, which usually gives you a much better idea, visual, but we'll do our very best. So thank you for being here. I still think that we have a good audience here, and you can share this. Next week we'll actually be at St. Andrews at UUF, where we a little bit reduced. Some of you may be familiar with the projects that Dementia Support has initiated over the last few years in an effort to make Lakeside a dementia-inclusive community. For those not familiar with dementia or confused between Alzheimer's and dementia, I'd like to explain a little bit that dementia is not a single disease. It's an umbrella term that describes a range of conditions that affect memory, thinking, behavior, and the ability to perform everyday activities. Alzheimer's disease is the most common, but there are well over 100 different types of dementia. And while dementia affects memory, it does not erase a person's humanity, emotions, or need for purpose. So what is Lakeside Memory? That would be the next slide. And how is it different from other memory care facilities around here? It's the Montessori approach that makes all the difference. Montessori, you may have heard of this for children, but it's not just for children. It's a way of supporting how people learn, engage, and thrive at any stage of life. Its core principles are simple: individualized engagement, meaningful hands-on activities, choice, independence, and respect. In dementia care, this approach focuses on what remains, not what is lost. Activities are tailored to each person's history, interest, and strength, helping preserve identity and purpose. This approach has been shown to reduce distress and increase engagement and support emotional well-being. Instead of asking what has been lost, we ask what is still possible. By using structure, purposeful activity, and supportive environments, Montessori-based care helps people maintain dignity, independence, and connection. This approach is very new here at Lakeside, and we are committed to make it a reality. Today we will share with you the why, the how, and who behind this project. We already have a growing volunteer group, including committed community members, and maybe those of you that are involved in our organization as a volunteer, maybe raise your hand. Peter and Jack and Brenda and Maura, it's quite a few, and yeah, Joanne, thank you for being here. The Rotary Club of Achichiek, of which I am a member, has also partnered with us. And it is our hope that many members of the Lakeside community will consider partnering with us.
Something happened.
The battery died. Yeah. Oh, it goes out every now and then. No, it's still on. Yeah. Anyway, you can still hear me?
No.
Okay. I speak really loud. Can you hear me out there, Ellison?
No.
Good.
Some people can't.
So we hope that we will have other members of our community partnering with us as well. So
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, it's so great having text. What does Lakeside Memory Neighborhood look like? Around the world, memory villages and neighborhoods have shown remarkable success, particularly in Europe and in Canada. And there's some probably in the United States as well. All activities will be guided by qualified staff and trained volunteers. We will offer education and emotional support for caregivers and families, a safe, engaging, and welcoming environment, no rigid visiting hours, friends and family are welcome when they choose, and in some cases, spouses may even wish to stay overnight. There will be a strong focus on brain-healthy nutrition, using natural foods and reduced sugar and reduced carbs. Reduced reliance on medication, with an emphasis on holistic and natural approaches. We know from research and experience that lifestyle, engagement, and connection can significantly improve quality of life for people living with dementia. Now the word neighborhood, because we're calling it Lakeside Neighborhood, this matters. It creates a familiar, non-institutional environment, one that encourages connection, dignity, and daily purpose. Our vision is to establish this as a non-profit, community-supported project. We envision a day program offering meaningful brain-stimulating activities, choice-based engagement, gardening, cooking, music, art, movement, trained staff and volunteers, education and emotional support for caregivers, and a welcoming space with flexible visiting hours for family and friends. For someone living with memory loss, this kind of environment can mean everything. And for caregivers, it brings something just as powerful, relief. The comfort of knowing their loved one is safe, supported, and truly cared for. Well, so I was going to show you some images, so just imagine, okay? There's some images that our Montessori-inspired memory neighborhood would look like. It's focused on meaningful activities. We envision raised garden beds where they can grow together with volunteers or with guidance of volunteers. They can grow vegetables, fruits, and herbs. We will have outdoor spaces, a swimming pool where they can do therapeutic activities and connecting with their neighbors, and physical activities. There'll be music playing around, and they can choose which activities they want to participate in, and games that they can play. And we're not going to sit them all around the table and say, okay, today we're going to paint pictures. No, my husband loves to sweep the floor, so give him a broom or say, would you please sweep the floor for us? Because they want to feel useless as well. Useful, not useless. No, they already feel useless, but they want to feel useful. See, that's just what happens when I ad-lib. So, and it supports caregivers as well, to education and connection. So these images, which you were supposed to see, represent possibilities. This is a compassionate, community-supported, non-profit model that we're going to build together. So why is this important to me? Well, some of you may know that my husband Ramiro was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease in 2017. Like many caregivers, I was overwhelmed, asking why and searching for answers. Out of love and determination, I immersed myself in learning through various courses, research, and our support group, which is right here every Tuesday. We get a lot of support there. What I discovered was hope. There is so much we can do. And this project is not just an idea, it's a lifeline for families walking this journey now and in the future. And each of us has our own story and our own reason for believing in this vision. So with that, I was going to introduce Anne, whose voice would be on the videos, and who will share the next part of this journey. And my friend Joan here will be Anne for the next few slides.
So today I am Anne, and I am honored to be present here and share with my colleagues, Elly and Joan. Today we'd like to share with you a project that is very close to our hearts, the development of the Lakeside Memory Neighborhood, a Montessori-inspired approach to dementia care right here in our community. I'd like to briefly share why this project matters so deeply to Anne. Anne is a registered nurse and a hospital administrator for a nonprofit hospital in Pennsylvania. So dementia has been a big part of her professional life for many years. It became personal to her when her husband, Mark, was diagnosed with frontotemporal dementia about 3 years ago. Dementia does not just affect the individual, it reshapes entire families. She has experienced, we all have, experienced the uncertainty, the grief, and the challenges of finding care that provides dignity, purpose, and human connection, not just safety. Families facing dementia quickly discovering that the journey is emotionally complex and often overwhelming. Caregivers must balance love, safety, and difficult decisions about long-term care. While Anne was spending time in the Lakeside community, she realized how many families, both locals and expats, are quietly facing the same struggles, often without support or meaningful options. So this project grew out of that experience and a simple belief: people living with dementia still have value, still have abilities, and still deserve a life of meaning. And families deserve guidance, community, and respect along the way. Around the world, dementia is becoming one of the most significant health challenges of our time. Millions of families are affected, and the numbers continue to grow as people live longer. Here in the Lakeside area, many families, both Mexican and expats, are facing the same reality. A loved one who needs care, structure, safety, and dignity as their memory declines. Lakeside is aging, and that's not a bad thing. It means people love living here. But with aging comes increased dementia. Families often struggle to find safe environments, trained caregivers, meaningful daily engagement, support for families. Many families are forced into this crisis decision rather than thoughtful planning. So what makes this model different? Traditional models often focus on what people can no longer do. Our approach focuses on what they still can do with the right environment and support. For example, residents will help with simple daily tasks. Familiar routines reduce anxiety. Staff are trained guides, not controllers. So the project status and where we are today. Today we are working to build a foundation for the Lakeside Memory Neighborhood. This includes developing community awareness, building partnerships, and preparing the resources necessary to make the project sustainable. We are in the foundational stage. That means a committed core team is being established. Mission and vision are defined. Community conversations have begun. We are building awareness and support. We are intentionally moving thoughtfully, not rushed.
We're not done yet. She's coming back. She's coming back with more.
We can still applaud her.
This is still Anne's turn, okay? She's going to talk about a mission statement, which is to create a non-profit, Montessori-inspired dementia neighborhood in Lakeside that supports people living with dementia to live with dignity, purpose, and connection through ability-focused care and strong family and community partnership. This means our mission is to create a non-profit dementia neighborhood where people live with dignity. She already said that. Our vision is a lakeside non-profit neighborhood. Are we saying this?
No, it's different.
Where people living with dementia experience dignity, belonging, and quality of life through compassionate, culturally attuned care and meaningful support for families and care partners. This means our vision is a lakeside community. Okay. This feels aligned with the value of this community. So, who does this serve? This project supports individuals living with dementia, families who are overwhelmed and isolated, caregivers who need support, training, and respect, and the broader Lakeside community through education. Lakeside Memory Neighborhood offers dementia workshops focusing on sensory, cognitive, physical, and creative engagement, including art, music, reminiscence activity with photos, music, practical life skills like folding laundry and gardening, simple games like puzzles and sorting, light exercise like chair yoga, walks, and aromatherapy, all designed to stimulate senses, improve mood, and maintain abilities. It offers support groups for caregivers, dementia-friendly communities, and is beyond residential care, and education is central for community tasks, for caregiver education, and for reducing the stigma. A dementia community benefits everyone. Transparency is essential. This program is committed to ethical governance, clear communication, and responsible use of funds. So what will it look like? Success means fewer families in crisis, more dignity for those living with dementia, and a community that shows up for one another. Imagine Lakeside Memory Neighborhood is known as a place that cares deeply for its elders. It's known as a place that... So at this point, you've heard why this project exists, the reality families are facing here at Lakeside, and where we are right now. What we shared today is not just a vision, it's something that's already taking shape, step by step, with community at the center of it. And that brings us to the most important part of today's conversation, how this community can be part of making this real. So now, we're going back to the real Joan, to Joan, who will be talk about how the community can be part of this effort. Joan.
Before I begin, I'd like to invite you to reflect on something simple yet profound. Why this matters. Many of you have built lives across countries, cultures, and communities. You understand what it takes to create a sense of belonging, a place where you feel known,
It went out again.
So you understand what it takes to create a sense of belonging, a place where you feel known, valued, and connected. And that is what dementia slowly begins to take away. Not just memory, but that deep human feeling of belonging. We often call dementia the long goodbye. And yes, there is loss, but that is not the whole story. Because even in the most advanced stages, something remarkable can happen. There are moments, brief, unexpected, and incredibly powerful, when a person returns to us. A look of recognition, a squeeze of the hand, connection that breaks through. Science calls this terminal lucidity, but you don't need science to understand it. You only need to sit beside someone you love and witness that moment when they come back. My husband, FLetcher, lives with Alzheimer's, and this journey has taught me something I never expected. Connection does not disappear, it changes. And it asks something of us, that we meet people where they are, not where they used to be. This is the heart of the memory neighborhood we are creating. It is a place designed not around illness, but around identity. A place where daily life feels familiar, where independence is supported, where dignity is protected, and where those moments of connection, no matter how small, are made possible. This is just not a model of care. It is a community, and like any community, it comes to life through people like you. Today, I invite you to help us build not just a place, but a way of caring that reflects the very best of who we are. Because in the end, how we care for our most vulnerable says everything about the values we live by. This will be a place not only for families, but for the entire community. A place where you might share time in a garden, bring music, art, or conversation, or simply offer your presence as a volunteer. There is no single way to help, only your way, and your presence alone can make a difference. But today, I want to gently ask you to go one step further, not just to feel inspired, but to act, to consider what role you might play in bringing this to life. Perhaps it is through a monetary contribution, giving your time, or by introducing us to someone who would care deeply about this work. Because this doesn't happen without people who say, yes, I want to be a part of this. We are building something lasting here, something deeply human, a place where dignity is protected, where connection is nurtured, and no one walks this journey alone. And one day, this may touch someone you love, a partner, a parent, a dear friend. So today, I invite you not to just support this vision, but to step into it. Thank you.
Once we have answered some of your questions, we invite you to come and speak with us. We have a table set up over there. And we also have, I keep calling her name is Mara, but she's an author. And when we did a presentation a couple of weeks ago, we introduced her book that she wrote as a practical guide for caregivers. And from all the books that I have ever read about dementia, and there's quite a few of them, to me this has been the most comprehensive book. and they're available today, Amara. And part of the proceeds are going to our project. So, yeah, if you feel moved to either volunteer or contribute, there's information you can take home. You can also leave your name. And thank you for your presence and for your consideration. We'll have some questions.